Let us remember our brothers and sisters, their cities and villages, the town's noisy streets, the lonely village inn, the distinguished old men, a young girl with her braids, an infant, all of the Jewish communities with their thousands of families, a whole Jewish existence sentenced to death on the European continent for the Nazi executioner.
The sudden outcry of a man who died, the woman who cradled her baby till her arms dropped, the infant seeking its mother's breast when it was cold and blue, the feet, those feet trying to escape but could not, fistful of steel, the steel becoming weapons of despair, vision, and rebellion. Those heroes of the heart, open-eyed, daring, gave their lives but could not gain a victory.
Let us remember the day at noontime when the sun gazed down on the slaughter from high and silent sky.
Let us remember the pile of ashes under the blossoming gardens and the dead who stare at us. They look from all sides, calling out for revenge.
And let us, with our lives, bear witness and be their memorial.
For the past several years, the graduating class at Yavneh Academy has written an original play after they completed their Holocaust Studies program. This year, in honor of Israel's 40th anniversary, the class has chosen to portray the Holocaust through the eyes of Holocaust survivors who found their home in Israel. Some survived because they had the foresight to leave Europe before it was too late. Others were fortunate enough to be rescued by people like Plana Sedish and Ruth Kluger. Others yet survived because they were able to join partisan groups or were among the survivors of concentration camps. At the end of World War II, those who survived were looking for a new home in Palestine, but the gates were shut by the British mandate. It took 3 more years and more bloodshed before the dream of a Jewish state was realized. While the state of Israel was being born, parents were reflecting with their children upon their lives and the lives of their families in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, the 8th grade is proud to present Reflections at 40.
Will the 9 o'clock tour please follow me so we can begin? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Last year at Kibbutz Nahalal, we dedicated this Wall of Heroes. This is David Ben Moshe, who was killed by the British during the Mandate period. Here is Chaim Khan, who escaped Poland just before the war broke out. Third is Primo Levi, who did not escape Poland in time. He survived Auschwitz and came to our kibbutz. Next, Ruth Kruger, best remembered for her works with Mossad Aliyah Bet. Her bold efforts in rescuing European Jews will never be forgotten. The last and most famous member in our Wall of Heroes is Hannah Senech. Many of you, I'm sure, have heard of her secret work in rescuing Jews from Hungary. Please follow me.
I would like to talk to you. I know who you are. I know everything about you.
Then you are more fortunate than I, for I know very little about myself.
I did not come to talk about your past.
The future is of limited interest to me.
I want you to give me your future.
Who are you?
I'm a messenger. My name is God.
You are my future? What will you do with my future?
I'll make it into an outcry. An outcry first of despair, and then of hope. And finally, a shout of triumph. The English have sent 100,000 soldiers to maintain so-called order in Palestine. We of the movement are only 100 strong, who will strike fear into their hearts. Do you understand what I am saying? We cause the English, yes, the English, to tremble. The paratroopers, the police dogs, the executioners, they're all afraid. Come, come. The future is waiting for you with open arms. From now on, you will no longer be humiliated, persecuted, or even pitied.
You are listening to the voice of freedom in Palestine. 2 men are preparing to meet death at dawn tomorrow. When the British captured our David Ben Moshe, an Englishman by the name of John Dawson was captured in retaliation. One of them deserves our admiration, the other our pity. Our brother, David Ben Moshe, knows why he is dying, but John Dawson does not. Both of them are vigorous and intelligent. They are on the threshold of life and happiness. They might have been friends, but now this can never be. At dawn tomorrow, at the same hour, the same minute, they will die, but not together, for there is an abyss between them.
I cannot believe the British are going to kill David Ben Moshe.
Why not?
The British could never do such a cruel thing.
Why not?
They wouldn't dare.
Why not?
World opinion wouldn't tolerate it.
Why not? Just remember Hitler. World opinion tolerated him for quite a while.
Tell me, God, who has been chosen to kill Englishmen?
You have been chosen.
Me? Why me? All my life I have known death. I watched my family and friends murdered at the hands of the Nazis. What right do I have to kill this man if I'm not sure that I deserve to be here myself? Why am I alive if so many others had to die? I think about what my parents taught me and I get upset. I feel I'm betraying my parents and my heritage.
What do you mean, Alicia?
I was taught that whatever we do, it is as if our parents are doing. If I perform a good deed, it is as if my parents were performing a good deed. If I sin...
Don't torture yourself. This is war.
Remember, Alicia, we are post-Holocaust Jews. The world has changed, but now we Jews have a place in it. You and I are creating that place. No longer will we have it created for us. We warn the English that for the hanging of every Jewish fighter, an English mother will mourn the death of her son.
It's so hard to believe the British would do this.
Alicia, listen to me. Nothing has worked. All the wartime resistance movements have held rallies in front of the British embassies. The chief rabbis of the capital cities of Europe sent a telegram to His Majesty the King. They plead, do not hang David Ben Moshe. He is a young man whose only crime is his loyalty to his ideals. All of humanity is behind David Ben Moshe.
I remember, God, when you first recruited me for the movement. I joined because of you. You said, from now on, you will no longer be humiliated, persecuted, or even pitied.
John Dawson, you have a mother. At this hour, she must be crying in silent despair. She will not go to bed tonight. She will sit in a chair near the window with the watch in her hand, waiting for dawn. Her heart will skip a beat when yours stops beating forever. They've killed my son, she will say. Those murderers. But we are not murderers, Mrs. Dawson. No, Mrs. Dawson, we are not murderers. Your cabinet ministers are murderers. They are responsible for the death of your son. We would have preferred to receive him as a brother, to offer him bread and milk and show him the beauties of our country. But your government made him our enemy, and by the same token, signed his death warrant. No, we are not murderers.
The English are murdering David Ben Moshe. Alicia, are you ready to do your assignment?
I am ready, God. How are you?
Hello, Papa.
Hi, Papa.
What is this? You couldn't find anything more colorful?
Papa, stop the fetching.
I'm glad you came. How have you been?
Fine, and you, Papa?
Okay, but more important, how is my granddaughter?
Well, Opa, I'm Miss Abercon.
Yes?
Visiting hours are over in 20 minutes. Your family will have to leave soon.
Yes. We'll be done in a minute.
Are you okay, Papa? Why don't Faya and I get you a cup of tea to that cough?
Yes, I'd appreciate that. Rachel, come over here and sit with me. I want to talk to you about something very important to me.
What, Opa?
As you already know, I am very fortunate to have left Germany before the war started.
Yes, that's very good.
No, Rachel, I lost many things in the war. Friends and family who died because they did not leave in time. I left because I felt it all in my bones when I first started hearing of Hitler and his crazy ideas. I told them what I felt, but they would not listen.
Why not, Opa?
Because they didn't think it could happen there. Germany was a democracy. No one thought the Constitution could be so twisted around to fit such laws and decrees against the Jews as those of the Nazis. Also, Rachel, you must understand, all their possessions were there. They felt that they were part of Germany.
Didn't you argue with them, Opa?
Yes, all the time, from day to night, but they all had different ideas of how it couldn't and wouldn't happen in Germany. I remember those arguments like yesterday. One in particular stands out clearly in my mind, between three of my friends and myself. It was in 1933, shortly after Hitler had become Chancellor. I had already decided that I wanted to leave Germany and was trying to convince my friends to do the same. They were all sitting around in my living room, and my best friend, Wilfred, said to me, "Albert, why are you so sad on leaving Germany?" No, move the pawn. Oh, Frederick. Wilfred, take his queen. Wilfred, take his queen. Wilfred, know what you're doing.
Albert! Why are you so nervous? You know Hitler's a crazy man. He won't last for long. Besides, they need us here in Germany. We're all professionals. I've grown accustomed to the ways here. Also, I'm doing well. I'm making a salary of 65 marks a week.
Open your eyes. Can't you see? That's what makes the Germans hate us. They are jealous because we are doing so well here, while some of them can't even support themselves.
Okay, Albert, but where can we go? There's no place to turn.
Anywhere. America, England, Palestine, Australia. We just can't stay here. It's like suicide.
But how would we support ourselves in these faraway countries? It could take months before we could get a job, and especially not knowing the language.
Never mind that. As far as America is concerned, we can't get visas. And who knows about the other countries?
Even if we end up in any of these countries, are there any shuls and cheddars there? Even if there are, they're probably not traditional. And I want to hand down my Jewish heritage to my children.
But would you rather be killed here and lose your Yiddishkeit entirely? Also, if we request a visa now, then maybe we have a chance to get out before it's too late.
But even if you do get a visa, you still need someone to sign a document proving that you will not be an economic burden to your new country, that you will be able to support yourself. You know, an affidavit. And I don't have any friends or relatives living outside of Europe.
I suggest that you all start planning to leave now. If not for yourselves, do it for your wives and children. Where there is a will, there is a way.
There's another thing. I am supporting my parents. I can't leave them to fend for themselves.
So, as soon as you get settled, send for them. Please, please, you must listen to me.
Albert, I'm sorry. I just don't think I agree with you. I don't see any urgency to leave. My German customers are as friendly as ever. And if you think about it, we have so many laws protecting us in Germany. Look at the German Constitution.
Don't underestimate Hitler's power. Laws to break the Constitution can be made faster than the Weimar Republic was created. Hitler is a popular and powerful political figure, you know.
But it just can't happen here. Not in Germany.
Checkmate.
I really tried, but there was nothing I could do. And I lost everyone. Family and my 3 best friends. Only Uncle Chaim from Poland managed to get to Palestine.
I am really sorry that you are staying behind. I only wish you would reconsider and apply for visas.
You know we can't, Albert. We've been through this thousands of times. We've got families to support. We can't afford to leave.
Suppose we did manage to leave. It won't be easy in a new country. There would be different customs and a different language to learn.
But you're not safe here. Your last hope for security, the Weimar Republic, is being destroyed. How can you insist on staying? You are losing the democracy and your lives are in danger.
Our parents lived here safely before the Weimar Republic. Why can't we? They had a lot of anti-Semitism and they managed. Hitler won't last that long.
I'm afraid you'll have to accept more surprises about Hitler. He's here to stay, and his plans for Germany don't look too promising for Jews. All of the newspapers have anti-Semitic remarks in them. Here's a quote from Hitler's book, Mein Kampf. Hence, the Jewish people, despite all apparent intellectual qualities, is without any true culture, and especially without any culture of its own. But I guess you just can't be convinced. Just promise me you'll take care of yourselves and keep in touch.
We will. We promise we will.
So what happened? if you first found out they were dead?
One by one, I stopped receiving letters. And then, after the war was over, I went to a number of different agencies to inquire about my friends and relatives. It took time, but eventually I was informed that they were all murdered in cold blood. It took me a while, but I picked myself up and started my life all over again. I married your grandmother, and your father was born shortly afterwards. But Rachel, there is a whole point to what I am trying to tell you. You see, if anything ever happened to you, I don't know what I would do.
Don't worry, nothing's going to happen to me, especially not in America.
Don't ever let me hear you say that again. That's exactly what the people of Germany said. And look what happened to them.
I'm sorry, Opa, but please stop worrying.
I can't stop worrying. Anti-Semitism exists even here in America. Rachel, I told you this story for a reason, Rachel. Stay alert.
I will, Opa, I will.
But Dad, it's not fair! All my life I've been living in Israel. Now I'm finally old enough and not letting me go.
You shouldn't complain, Shlomo. You are upset that you can't go to America for one summer, but you just don't realize how lucky you are. Did you ever think for one moment that maybe I don't have the money? You should be so thankful that at least you are living in Israel, a Jewish state. When I was your age, I also wanted to go away. I wanted to come here to what was known as Palestine. But no, your grandfather wouldn't let me go.
Really? Why didn't you want you to go?
Well, the situation was different. You see, it was 1938, soon after Kristallnacht, the night of shattered glass. It was at the Friday night table. My father and I were having an argument.
Don't stop now. Tell me about it. Howard, tell me.
Okay, it was soon after Kristallnacht. It was a Friday night Shabbat table, but in Poland. And I said,
Well, Papa, you and Mama have to come. We have to go to Palestine. The Nazi terror is growing in Germany. Hitler wants everything. I'm afraid he will take Poland too. Can't you see what's happening? It's just the beginning.
My dear Chaim, we can't leave now. Everything is going well. The business is flourishing. And besides, nothing is going to happen to us. It'll stop after a while. It always does. We've gone through years of persecution, from Crusades to Cossacks, and we've survived each time.
But it's different this time. Look at the mass rallies that Hitler staged in Germany. The people love it. It is as if Hitler gave them a solution to all of their problems.
What shall I do? My son wants to leave me, but I don't think that there is anything to worry about. Besides, we have nowhere to go. And anyway, how can I leave everything I own?
Look what you've done to your father. You've gotten him so upset that now he's worried about losing you. Listen to him.
Mama! Papa! Listen to me! You are living in a dream world! Don't you realize that there is anti-Semitism everywhere? It doesn't matter where we go, as long as we get out of Poland before it's too late. Besides, as long as we are all safe and together, it doesn't make a difference where we are.
He's right, Papa. Best thing for us to do is leave while we have the opportunity.
Oh, please, you're only 13 years old. How can you know what's right or what's wrong?
But Papa, he's right. Why is it so hard for you to understand? Just yesterday, Yaakov's father was beaten on the street, the very streets I used to play on, and Goyer threw stones at your store. I know things will get worse. We have to go now while we still have the chance.
You young people always think you know everything. Well, let me tell you something. I've been living in Poland for 51 years. I was born here. I'm convinced things will get better.
Your father's right. So let's stop this silly argument and enjoy the Shabbos meal. Besides, this soup is getting cold.
So what happened? Did he come with you?
well, around 2 weeks later, My father's store was totally destroyed by anti-Semites, but even that didn't make him want to go. As much as I tried, nothing could convince him to come with me. Time was short, and I didn't know what to do until...
Until when? Until when?
Until a few days after the incident with the store, my father was in the middle of town arguing with a guy. His friend went to help him, and both were beaten unconscious.
And that is what finally made him go with you?
Yes, that is what it took to make my father leave.
But I thought Daisy loved Poland.
He did, but he finally realized there was no hope for a Jew in Poland. I went to Palestine and settled in Kibbutz Nahal. The rest of my family went to Romania. They were lucky. They got there right before Hanukkah.
What made you change your mind?
Well, I was listening to Jews of Germany to the east. Then Shlomo came home. He's all black and blue.
Oh my God!
I can't take it anymore.
That's it. We are leaving.
I still don't want to go. I've heard what's happening in Germany, but I don't think it can happen here.
Well,
I mean, I know there's anti-Semitism here, but I don't think it'll ever get that bad.
that's too bad, young lady. Miriam, look at your brother. He's all beaten up.
But Father!
No ifs or buts about it. We are leaving Romania as soon as we can. End of discussion.
Our
being followed. Meanwhile, the illegal ship, Fasola, is sinking, so the Tiger Hill is taking on their passengers. They've almost run out of water and one girl has died of scarlet fever. We must be careful that this information doesn't leak out, or the concerned citizens of the world will close down our operation.
Concerning our next operation, Ehud, our ship supplier, the Charmaine, is willing to lease us a cargo ship by the name of the Hilda. However, we must get in the down payment by September 15th and then convert the ship before the port freezes.
It is going to be hard. If I hadn't seen the miracles that enabled us to send other ships, I would think it would be impossible.
Let's not talk about this anymore. That must be the Kluger woman from Palestine. I hope she likes the hotel accommodations. Shalom.
Shalom.
Please, come in. Ruth, this is my friend Ehud.
Shalom.
Please, have a seat. So, you have decided to join the Mossad Aliyah Bet, the illegal immigration to Palestine. As you know, since the British issued the white paper, they are allowing few legal Jewish immigrants into the country. So we must help them immigrate illegally. That is the objective of our mission. You are the 10th member of our operation, and the only woman. I must warn you, it is a very dangerous undertaking. You will be giving up your personal security and your personal life. You will have no place of safety to return to. And if you are caught, you will just disappear.
I understand the dangers awaiting me. I am willing to take the risk.
Very well. Let me explain our procedure. We have 5 obstacles to overcome. First, we must find a ship. Because it is for illegal purposes, we must offer the highest bid. Which brings us to our second obstacle, fundraising. Most Jewish organizations are opposed to our operation and will not send us money. Third problem is to convert the ship secretly into quarters which can accommodate 1,500 people.
That takes time and many workmen. And if one of the workmen leaks information to the British, it will end the sailing of the ship. We also must bring onto the ship supplies, food, water, and fuel.
The fourth problem is getting the immigrants into Romania and onto the ship in secret. And finally, we must avoid British detection and land them safely in Palestine.
I understand and am prepared for everything.
Did you hear the news bulletin? Germany just invaded Poland.
I knew it!
The ship owner has already received many interesting offers for the Hilda. We must now pay 65 pounds sterling per passenger, more than twice as much as he paid for the last ship, the Tiger Hill. Plus, we must give him an additional 10,000 pounds within the next 4 days in order for him to guarantee the ship for us.
That's quite a large sum, Alexander. Ruth, you must leave immediately for Chernowitz to raise the 10,000 pounds.
Very well. I will make a visit to General Max Ritter von Anhalt, one of the wealthiest and most prestigious Jews in Romania.
We'll leave you now so that you can freshen up.
Herr von Anhalt,
Hear me out and consider my words.
Very well. Proceed. Exactly 5 precious minutes of my time.
Do you have a son?
I do.
If he were in danger, and you could rescue him by paying 65 pounds sterling for a voyage to safety, would you pay it?
Now, my dear young lady.
If you could save another boy, a stranger, for the price of 65 pounds?
Is that why you're here? You need 65 pounds?
I'm here to give you an historic opportunity, a chance to save not one, but 1,500 lives.
And who, if I may ask, sent you here to give me this historic opportunity?
My organization.
The name of this organization? You have 4 more minutes. Do you wish to spend them in silence?
My organization is the Mossad Aliyah.
What is the meaning of those words?
The Institute of Immigration B.
What's the meaning of that?
Aliyah Aleph, Immigration A, is the so-called legal immigration. Jews coming to Palestine with the proper papers, legal certificates. Aliyah Bet, Immigration B, well, we are the others.
So, you are the Institute of the Illegal Immigration.
Illegal? We are illegal only according to British decree. In our minds, we are bringing Jews back to their homeland. A homeland promised them both by God in the Torah and the British in the Balfour Declaration.
Well, I must think about it.
Think of your own son. What if he were in Germany now? How much is his life worth to you? The life of each young man we can rescue is worth exactly that much to his father. We can still get Jews out of Germany, Austria, Czechoslovakia, and other European countries, but only if they leave all their money and possessions behind. Therefore, the money for their passage to Palestine must be found outside, must be found through people like you, Jews who can understand, who can see what may happen, who can help.
As you can imagine, during the past few days, I've had many calls for funds from many directions. However, you are a very convincing young lady, and I am sympathetic to your cause. How much do you need?
10,000 pounds.
That's a large sum of money.
Remember your son?
Very well. My secretary will hand you the money in 100-pound notes.
Wait! Before you go, may I ask you one question? When you switched on your radio this morning, you heard the whine of bombs being dropped on Warsaw. How many minutes do you think it would take those same planes to reach Czernowitz? Would there be time enough for you and your family to escape?
My dear young lady, I am not uninformed about the current situation. Will it please you if I say that I have my plans?
Herr Banana, I can only plead. Don't wait too long. Even men like you, men with the golden key, will find the fences up, the gates locked, if you wait too long.
I appreciate your concerns. Goodbye for now.
Hi, 1 minute. Cut, 1 minute.
Getting the immigrants onto the ship. They are rebelling because the conditions are so unbearable. I promise the people on the Hilda that a top personality in the organizing committee will be arriving tomorrow in Baltic.
And who is this top personality?
You!
Hello, we have hot drinks and cakes. Can I take your order?
Not right now. We're waiting for the mayor of Balchik. Show him to our table when he arrives.
Very well.
I must leave now. I'll see you later.
The gentleman you've been waiting for, the mayor of Boston.
How do you do?
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Ruth Kluger. I have come from Bucharest to take charge of the ship. This is my aide, Alexander. Can I take your order now?
Yes, coffee and strudel, please.
Very well.
They said they were sending a top man from Bucharest. A man who would solve all our problems. And what do they send? You?
He finally made it here after a very difficult trip. And if you would be able to spend the night here at your house in Balchik, we will work everything out in the morning.
Of course, but for a fee.
Very well.
Now let's get down to business. I have a thing or two to discuss with you. This is a peaceful village, mademoiselle. Suddenly, 1,000 strangers descend upon us. Your sailors stagger drunk through the streets. They fight with each other and attack our men. The noise and the smell are simply unbearable. Our women and children are terrified of your cursed ship. As mayor of Balchik, mademoiselle, I must demand that as soon as the ice thaws, your ship leaves our port. You can buy my silence no longer. If your ship does not sail, I will notify the authorities of Bucharest.
I apologize for the inconvenience that our ship has caused your people. But perhaps some good comes along with the bad. We have, after all, paid well for the supplies we bought in your town.
Supplies? You have stripped us bare like a horde of locusts. Now we must journey to the city of Mazarchik for the things we need. And you have seen yourself, mademoiselle, what it is like to travel these roads in the wintertime.
I am so exhausted. I have not slept for 36 hours.
You can't leave now. We must meet with the ship's committee. They're waiting on the dock.
Very well.
Goodbye now. I will see that your room is prepared. And don't forget the fish.
Speak at once. First, tell me about the passengers.
In a few words, they are simply impossible to control.
Yeah.
We have no water left to drink and we're living off the snow.
Yeah.
There are continuous threats by passengers to inform the world of their condition. There is total confusion. We haven't had baths for over 6 weeks. We are living on wooden boards, no sheets, no mattresses, with only 65 centimeters of space between each passenger.
Okay, calm down. Let's hear all your problems point by point, and we will try to find some solutions.
You are the first problem. You've kept our people in some sort of control since the cable came from the Palestine office. We told them that a top man is coming here. By now, they expect some sort of messiah. When they see a woman, they'll explode.
They won't see her. None of the Mossad people are ever seen by the passengers.
Well, that's a relief in any case. But the real question is, how can she solve our problems?
Look, we will try to solve the problems together. Just set them out one by one.
We started out with 3 kitchens well stocked. Now we have 3 kitchens with barely any food left, serving only frozen bread and sauerkraut. The passengers are at the point of starvation.
I brought money. We'll journey to Bazarjic and buy out the town.
And what about the pregnant women? They're ready to deliver any minute now. We must bring them to the hospital in Bazarjic.
The Mossad can't be blamed for this. Both women had told me they had bundled themselves in scarves, smuggled themselves aboard, well aware of the risks.
It is not advisable to bring the women to Bazarjic. The risk is too big that people will find out about our ship and notify the authorities. As I remember the plan of the ship, the captain's cabin is the only private place aboard. Can the babies be delivered there?
I'm afraid the captain has other uses for his cabin.
Perhaps he can be persuaded to cooperate.
Some of the passengers were exploring the hills beyond the village. They came across an ancient Turkish bath that hadn't been used for decades. If this could be put into operation, there would be a tremendous renewal of hope and courage.
I will see if I can work something out with the mayor.
The crew is also uncooperative. It's comprised of mostly Turks and Greeks who are rarely sober and who are most of the time not at the ship, being either pub drinking or going around town wild. Many times fights break out between the sailors. With them around, we are all afraid.
Give them each a bonus of 100 pounds sterling. Only if they agree to return to the ship at once, submit to discipline, and get ready to sail. But meanwhile, the passengers must be made to understand our position as well. We are doing all we can.
They understood. When they boarded the hold at Selina, they understood. But now, after 5 weeks, now at the point of starvation and no nearer to Palestine, they're forgetting how to understand. We are not the same people we were when we boarded the ship. We want to get off, to make our own way to Budapest, from Bucharest to Sofia. We'll be safe enough there.
Tell your people that at 5 tomorrow morning, a member of the Mossad will come to speak to them.
Impossible. You know that's against the rules.
Perhaps each emergency creates its own rules. Tell them all to meet with me on the dock. I'll be standing in the dark. Shalom, Chavirim. I have been sent here by the Mossad organization. We've met with your ship's committee and know your problems. We've brought supplies from Bazarjic, and the mayor has agreed to help out in whatever way he can concerning the Turkish bath. But you must continue to bear your hardships in silence, not only for your own sakes, but for those who will follow.
Silence? That's not what we want. Our suffering should be splashed across the front pages. That's what we want. To open the eyes of the world, to know what is going on here, what's happening to the Jews of Europe.
The front pages? Yes. That's where the story should appear. But would it? The story of the Hilda might read a half column on page 20 of the New York Times. Will that make the people of the world rush to help you? Welcome you to their country with valid passports? I'll tell you exactly what would happen. Romanian officials would come at once and confiscate our ship. You would all be sent back to where you came from. And, in all likelihood, the Mossad would be unable to function any further. Is that what you're after?
When will the ship sail?
When the ice breaks.
And what about the Jews from the town of Kladovo?
If they don't come, we'll bring more Jews from Bucharest.
What about the pregnant women? They don't belong here.
Just remember, other passengers have survived worse conditions than this, and they are now in Palestine. We do stumble, those who organize the ships and those who sail on them. We stumble and pick ourselves up and go on, because this may be the last road to survival, the last escape from a terrible death. And I know that you too will make it. I will never forget when the ship sailed from Baltic, Romania several days after Franca. It was sighted by the British near Istanbul. On January 24th, the Hilda was brought into the Haifa harbor with plans to be sent to Paraguay. The captain was able to persuade the British that the ship was not able to sail further and needed repairs. The 727 passengers, including 2 infants born on the ship, became members of the Yishuv in Palestine. They joined Kibbutz Nahalal.
Upon us yet will dawn the day we hold so dear. Our tramping feet will proclaim that we are here. Upon us yet will dawn the day we hold so dear. Our tramping feet will proclaim that we are here. So mighty day that we are for now. And so our young children say, the young is up the Lord, yeah, be above. Of it's a day the Lord, your rain but not the fall. The young is up the Lord, yeah, be above. Of it's a day the Lord, your rain but not the fall.
Oh, Miriam, I'm so glad that I came here to Palestine, even though it was hard leaving my mother in Hungary. I feel like I belong here. Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to go to Palestine. My idol was Theodor Herzl, a Zionist who was not far from our house in Budapest. Mama always said that I was foolish for being such a strong Zionist. But me, I never wanted to listen. Palestine is where I wanted to go. It is my home.
I know exactly how you feel. Leaving my family was also very difficult, but I love it here at the Nahalal kibbutz.
Hello. Shalom. Are you Chana Senish? Yes. Can I help you?
I guess you want to be left alone. Oh, Hannah, I'll see you later at the Fajarota.
Hannah, we are from the Haganah.
Oh.
You asked if you can help us. We certainly hope so.
So, you've heard about us and you know of our resistance work.
Yes, I've heard much about you and I've read much concerning your work.
Great. Then it won't take too long to explain to you why we're here. I'm Yosef Stein. This is Dov Jacobowitz. And this is Moshe Cohen.
As I'm sure you're aware, there's a very serious war going on now.
Yes, of course. Unfortunately, I know all about it.
Well, Hitler is convinced that the Jews are the main problem.
Therefore, he is determined to kill every Jew and rid the world of this racial problem.
Our job in the Haganah is to help these Jews escape this terrible oppression. Many people are needed to help.
We would like to know that we can count on you to help us rescue other Jews.
I would be honored to help my brothers and sisters escape from this awful war.
We heard you're a very determined woman.
I will try my hardest to help you.
Great. But are you aware of the dangers awaiting you? You could be caught, and then who knows what could happen to you?
I know, but I still want to go.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shalom, at ease.
Hannah, are you ready for this dangerous mission?
As ready as I'll ever be. You mentioned parachuting.
Yes, we will fly into enemy territory and then parachute in. From there, we will try to contact Jews and help them escape.
Of course. We've never done this before. We're all nervous and I suppose a bit frightened.
Yes?
Is there something wrong?
I was wondering. I am from Hungary, and I know there are Jews dying there every day. Would it be possible for me to continue to Hungary and save my mother?
This mission is dangerous enough without your going into Hungary.
Don't be silly. Of course I can do it.
Are you sure? What if you're caught? Then they torture you.
I think we should let her do it.
I agree.
That means yes?
Yes. After we finish with your training, we'll leave in about 2 weeks to parachute into Yugoslavia.
Are you Catherine Senish? Yes, I am. Ah, Mrs. Senish, I've been expecting you. Do you have any children? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. My son is studying in France, and my daughter is safe and sound in Palestine. And what is your daughter's name? Hannah. Why? Because your safe and sound daughter is not in Palestine. She's not? No, she's not. In fact, she's in the next room. Guard! Bring in that Senish girl! Oh, my poor dear! What have they done to you? What are you doing here? Oh, my poor Hannah!
I'm all right, Mother. It's not that bad.
But you look so awful. You have bruises all over. Oh, Hannah, have they hurt you?
Mother, please be calm. Don't worry. I'm just so happy to see you again. Just seeing you makes me feel better.
But why are you here?
Don't worry about me, Mother. I can't tell you exactly what I'm doing. But if you knew, you would be proud of me.
I love you, Hannah. I worry so much about you. What will they do to you?
I love you too, Mother. Please, Mother, take care of yourself.
How emotional. Guard, take her away. Go ahead, George. Back to your cell.
Why are you so depressed? You've got to keep your head high. You've got to have hope.
Hope? In this hellhole? How in the world can you have hope here?
It doesn't matter how, but you always have to be hopeful. If not, if you have nothing to look forward to, then what's the purpose in living? You must have an ideal to strive for.
Where do you see hope? Who are you and how did you get here?
Well, to make a long story short, I came here on Haganah parachute mission for Palestine. Our mission is to help Nazi prisoners, and especially Jews. My two friends and I were dropped into Yugoslavia, and some partisans helped us to the border. We were waiting for our contact. However, when he did not arrive, I decided to cross the border myself.
By yourself?
Yes, by myself. Let me finish. Anyway, two Hungarians reported me, and here I am. The police have been interrogating me. They want information about my work. But I'm determined never to betray my friends, even if my life depends on it.
So, how am I discussing Jews today?
Who are you calling a disgusting Jew?
You. Who else?
I am not disgusting. You know who's disgusting around here? You are. You and your filthy Nazis. Don't worry, when you lose the war, you'll get what you deserve. Torturing and killing helpless little children. Now that's what I call disgusting.
That'd be very Jew.
Don't interrupt me when I'm speaking. Now you listen to me and listen to me good. You chickens aren't even brave enough to fight a war against armed men and women. Killing weak, frail, defenseless people? Oh, wow, does that take a lot of courage. And one more thing. Next time, just call me a Jew. Never, ever use a word such as disgusting before the word Jew. Now get out of here. Leave me alone.
There will always be a disgusting Jew.
Oh my God! There's my mother in the other cell. I feel so sorry for her. She's done so much for me, and now she has to go through this. It must be torture for her. For myself, it doesn't matter. They convict me of treason, I'll go bravely to my death.
All right, Jew, get up. You've been convicted of treason. And you have been sentenced to death.
Let me just write a last letter to my mother.
Fine, but make it quick. This is your last request.
Goodbye, Mother. I know that I've caused you a great deal of pain, and I apologize to you. But don't despair. Don't be sad. Just keep fighting back. Goodbye forever. Loving kisses, Connor.
All right, Drew, let's go. Your time's out.
away from me. If that's how you want it. Ready?
Good afternoon. This is the Voice of Freedom in Palestine, August 22nd, 1947. Our long-expected fear that Hannah Senesh was executed during the war by the Hungarians has finally been confirmed. She gave her life to save others. Her loss is greatly mourned not only by the members of Kibbutz Nahalal, but also by all of us who live here in Palestine.
I remember her well. What a brave person she was. I must find those papers now.
Father, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the papers.
About the war. What was in them? Why are they so important?
Ah, here they are. These papers have the priceless words of a meeting held in Vilna in 1943 about an uprising planned at that time.
So why are you so upset?
Because hearing about Hannah's death reminds me of my own past. I have always wanted to tell you about it, but I just couldn't. Here, read for yourself. Listen up. You all know that the Germans are liquidating the ghetto. It's a good thing that at least the general morale has not deteriorated. But unfortunately, today's meeting will not be a joyful one. It's a tragic episode. We who are gathered here are the last Holocaust of Poland. No matter where you walk outside, there are corpses. And have you heard of the fate of Warsaw? None remains alive. We are the last. We must decide today what to do tomorrow. Simply sitting here, greeting death with open hands is not sensible. We have two possible solutions. Blow up the shops and kill all the Germans in the ghetto, or flee to the forest. But, whatever our decision is, one thing is for sure.
What is that, Mordecai?
If anyone has a possibility of remaining alive, take advantage of the situation.
If you want to remain alive, the forest is no solution. Things will pass, they always do. Look at history. Anti-Semitism always existed. But do you think civilization will allow murder to continue? That's impossible. We should go ahead with our plan to use the Molotov cocktails and blow up the German shop. But the forest is no solution.
Mendel, let us have no illusions. You are in a dream world. The situation is as follows. Complete liquidation will be our share. We have no choice. We shall all die. The question is only how. We are not fighting for our lives, only for revenge.
Yes, I agree. If we go to the forest, it's not to survive, but only to give our death dignity.
Why speak of so much death? The soldier on the front, a partisan in the forest, thinks of life, not death. I say it's better to join the attack in the forest.
In the forest, there are greater possibilities every day. There we can still fight. If we must die, let us be as active partisans. Let us die with dignity.
Well, it looks like we're all agreed. We are joining the partisan war from the forest. The most important thing is to preserve the dignity of the Jewish people.
Hurry up, someone's coming. Get out of here.
Father, what did you do as a partisan?
I fought. I resisted in the forest. Others died in the gas chambers. Some, very few, survived, like Yankel and Uncle Primo.
And what happened to Yankel and Uncle Primo?
Yankel was very, very lucky. A Polish farmer hid him from the Nazis.
Tota, who is there? Come out of there, you young devil. I heard you. Come out, right now. I hear you. Do I smoke you out, or do I use the prong?
I give in. Please put that horrible thing away before it goes right through me. I haven't done any harm. I've only spent the night.
Perhaps you'll be good enough to explain your presence here.
Yesterday, the Nazis came to my house, and they took away my parents and my sisters. But I managed to escape. I really needed somewhere to stay, but I was afraid to ask you. I'll be willing to work off my night's lodging. I'll do anything you say.
Of course. And if I'm not satisfied, I'll hand you over to the Nazis. Now I'll get you a bite to eat. Emma, we have another visitor for breakfast. A tattered bundle of mischief from Lodz. His name is
Yankel.
Yankel. He walked all the way to meet us. This is Frau Wolf, my wife.
There's plenty more when you finish this food. This is a farm, you know, so there is no shortage.
You have made me feel so welcome. I feel as though you've been expecting me.
Oh, you get to expect anything in these parts. The woods are full of refugees like yourself, you know. You're not, by any means, the first kid that I found in the barn. Just last winter, I found a whole family in the cowshed. Told me they walked all the way from the Ukraine. Didn't believe a word of it, though. If you'd asked me, they'd walk from the next village. A stunt to get a free meal. But I made them work for it, though.
I have worked on a farm before, but I have never met people as decent as you.
You think I'm decent, do you, huh? Just wait till I run a full day's work out of you. You'll think very differently. We'll start right now, right after you finish eating.
Let him rest today, Kurt. He's all worn out.
I don't believe in treating people soft. Treat them rough and they respect you. Give them milk and kindness and it'll turn sour. No, we'll start right now. No, wait. I see an SS officer coming.
Rumor has it that some of the farmers in this area have Jewish refugees hiding in their houses and helping them on their farms.
So, what does that have to do with me?
If you have a Jew hiding here, turn him over, and spare you, your wife, and your farm. If you don't turn him over, you might have to do something a little bit messy. We give you until sunset. It's your choice. Good day.
What happens?
Yankel, that was an SS officer. He threatened our lives if we didn't turn you over. But you will stay with us.
is Primo. Let me tell you what happened to me in Auschwitz.
So, Resnick, do you think we'll ever get out of here alive?
Who cares? What are we to live for anyway? For all we know, our families may have been tortured to death or burned.
Stop! How can you talk like this? You must not lose your home. This is just what the Germans want us to do.
Shut up, you dirty Jews, and get back to work. By tonight, we better have 3 truckloads of wood, or else it will be 50 lashes for each of you.
You see? What we are doing is backbreaking work. Not for us, for them.
No! I don't want to hear this anymore. That will be 20 lashes for you, and 25 for the next person who opens his mouth. Now bend over, and don't forget to count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We all knew immediately that Alex was dead. This was just another example of the terror tactics used by the Nazis, trying to terrify the Jews so that they would lose all hope. You see, the Jews in the concentration camp were physically weak. They were starved, sick, and so low down that they cannot think of resisting or fighting back. But as much as the Germans tried to dehumanize us, there were some Jews who went on hoping and dreaming, until one cold, cold December night at Auschwitz, when I almost lost my faith.
Wake up, you Jews! March schnell! Stand at attention, and no jackets on. I'm sure that you will all enjoy the 15-degree weather outdoors. Now move it! Achtung! Attention! It seems that lately you Jews have been quite uncooperative. This is not good for your health. In fact, just tonight, one of you fools tried to escape. Tried. We cannot allow this to happen. Can we? Do you want to see your friend David? Do you want to see what has become of him? You may come in, David. Say hello to your friends.
I, David Ben-Gurion, head of the Jewish Agency, hereby state that the land of Israel was the birthplace of the Jewish people. Here, our spiritual, religious, and national identity was formed. Here, we created a culture of national and universal significance. Here, we follow the Torah. The Nazi Holocaust, which engulfed millions of Jews in Europe, proved anew the urgency of the reestablishment of the Jewish state, which would solve the problem of Jewish homelessness by opening the gates to all Jews and lifting the Jewish people to equality in the family of nations. Accordingly, we, the members of the National Council, representing the Jewish people and the Zionist movement of the world, met together in solemn assembly today the 14th day of May, 1948, the 5th day of ER, 5708, the day of termination of the British mandate for Palestine, by virtue of the natural and historic right of the Jewish people, and of the resolution of the General Assembly of the United Nations, hereby proclaim the establishment of the Jewish state of Palestine to be called Israel. Shehecheyanu, V'kiyamanu, V'higiyanu, Lazman Hazeh.